It is the stamina food of Japan, a creature of mystery, slime, and smoke.
From the muddy depths of the breeding ponds to the pinnacle of culinary art. Speed is not just efficiency, it is mercy. The unagi preparation requires a master's hand.
Grilled, steamed, and grilled again. A process refined over centuries.
Welcome inside the Japanese Eel factory.
The journey begins in controlled aquaculture ponds, where the water temperature and quality are monitored 24/7 to mimic the eel's natural habitat.
Harvesting is a chaotic event. These creatures are incredibly strong and slippery, requiring specialized nets to contain them.
Once harvested, they are loaded into tanker trucks filled with ice-chilled water to induce a state of hibernation for the journey.
At the processing facility, the intake system is designed to be gentle. The eels slide rather than drop, preventing bruising to the delicate flesh.
Before processing, the eels rest in these purging tanks for 48 hours. Fresh water flushes out any muddy taste from their system.
The ice bath renders the eels unconscious, ensuring a humane process and allowing the master butchers to handle them with surgical precision.
This is the defining moment of unagi preparation. The Meuchi spike provides the necessary anchor for the intricate cuts that follow. In the Eastern Kanto style, the eel is split down the back. This requires immense skill to avoid cutting the internal organs.
A perfect split reveals the quality of the meat. The flesh should be firm, white, and free of any blemishes.
Speed is essential, but accuracy is paramount. The entrails are removed in one clean motion to prevent any bitterness from contaminating the delicate meat.
Skewering takes 3 years to master. It is an ancient proverb for a reason. The skewers must weave through the flesh just right to prevent curling over the fire.
If the skewer is too shallow, the heavy fillet will tear and fall into the coals. If too deep, it damages the presentation.
Once skewered, they are racked. The uniformity here determines how evenly they will cook over the unpredictable heat of charcoal. We use only Binchotan, white charcoal from Ubame oak. It burns at a searing 1000 degrees Celsius, sealing the surface.
This first stage is called Shirayaki, or white grilling. The goal is not to flavor the eel, but to purge the excess fat and tighten the skin.
As the fat renders, it drips onto the Binchotan, vaporizing instantly. This smoke rises back up, wrapping the eel in its own savory essence.
Timing is instinctual. The skin must be blistered but not burnt. A master griller listens to the sound of the fat dripping to know when to flip. Unlike the crispy Kansai style, our Kanto-style unagi undergoes a critical intermediate step: steaming.
The intense steam breaks down the collagen and tiny intramuscular bones, transforming the texture from chewy to unbelievably soft.
They emerge fragile and fluffy. Now, the pores of the meat are open and ready to drink in the legendary secret sauce.
This vat holds the soul of the factory. The Tare.
The pale, porous meat is now ready to drink. It is submerged completely, soaking up the sweet and savory marinade like a sponge. This is not a thin glaze. It is a heavy, sugar-rich blanket that will protect the delicate flesh from the intense heat to come.
Now begins the kabayaki, the repeated grilling. The sugars in the sauce hit the 1000-degree coals, creating an instant savory crust.
We are watching flavor come alive. The Maillard reaction turns sugar and protein into that distinct, addictive, roasted aroma. The dripping sauce fuels the fire. The eel is literally smoked in its own juices, deepening the flavor profile with every passing second.
One dip is never enough. The process is cyclical. Dip, grill, dry. Dip, grill, dry. We build the flavor in layers. The sauce is sticky and burns easily. It requires constant, vigilant attention from the grill master to achieve perfection without ruin. This is the pinnacle. A perfect balance of crisp char, tender meat, and a glossy, savory sweet lacquer.
They are allowed to rest momentarily, letting the glaze set before they face the final stage of their journey.
The grilling is done, but the metal remains. Removing the skewers from the hot, sticky meat without tearing the delicate.
If pulled too straight, the meat rips. If pulled too slow, it cools and sticks. It must be a fluid, confident extraction.
Thousands of skewers are cycled through the factory daily. washed, sterilized, and returned to the start of the line.
Now free of the metal frame, the unagi is incredibly fragile. It moves on a low vibration belt to prevent the tender meat from breaking apart.
Tradition meets technology. Optical sensors scan the length and width of every fillet to determine the perfect portion size for retail packaging.
The cut must be instantaneous. A dull blade would crush the soft meat. This blade slices through the fibers without disturbing the glaze. The cross-section reveals the quality of the process. The distinct separation of skin, fat, and meat promises a melt-in-the-mouth texture. Consistency is the hallmark of the brand. Every single portion falls within a strict weight tolerance of plus or minus 2 grams. Because the cut exposed the white meat, a final top-up of sauce ensures that every bite is equally coated in the savory glaze.
Sliced, glazed, and weighed. They are now ready to be frozen in time, locking in that charcoal grilled flavor for the customer.
We enter the clean room. Here, specialized multi-layer trays are prepared. The gold backing is not just
Precision placement is handled by soft-touch grippers. The eel is positioned skin-side down to showcase the caramelized meat to the consumer.
For the true connoisseur, extra sauce is mandatory. A hermetically sealed sachet of our master vintage Tare is included in every pack. And the finishing touch, sansho pepper. Its citrusy, numbing heat is the traditional counterpart to the rich, fatty eel.
The trays enter the vacuum chamber. This specialized film is engineered to be puncture resistant, protecting the eel's sharp fin rays.
In milliseconds, the atmosphere is removed. The film conforms to the fish like a second skin, locking the sauce in place and halting oxidation immediately.
heat and pressure create a bond stronger than the material itself. This seal guarantees that the unagi rotary blades separate the batch. The result is a clean, safe edge with no jagged plastic. A loose seal is a failed product. Inspectors check the tension of the film to ensure the vacuum is absolute. Sealed and secured. But for international safety standards, they must face one final heat treatment, the retort.
To ensure the unagi is safe for export without preservatives, we use the retort method. This hull contains pressure.
The vacuum packs are loaded into the chamber.
The door is sealed like a submarine.
Steam is injected under high pressure. The temperature rises to 120 degrees Celsius. This kills any...
For 20 minutes, the unagi is held at this critical temperature. The high pressure forces the tare sauce even deeper into the fibers of the meat.
They emerge dripping wet. Before they can be boxed, every drop of water must be removed from the exterior of the packs.
High-velocity air knives shear the moisture from the packaging. A dry pack is essential to prevent mold growth on the cardboard boxes later.
The unagi has survived the knife, the fire, the vacuum, and the pressure. It is now a finished masterpiece, ready for the final deep freeze.
To preserve the texture achieved during the retort process, the unagi must be frozen instantly. We enter the spiral freezer.
This is a vertical journey through the cold. The spiral design maximizes exposure to the freezing air. Speed is critical. Slow freezing would separate the sauce and damage the meat fibers. Thermal sensors monitor the core temperature. The product must hit -18 degrees at the core before it is allowed to leave the spiral.
After 30 minutes, they emerge transformed, rock hard, preserved, and ready for travel.
Inspectors ensure the packs are frozen flat. Any bent or curled packs are removed, as they won't stack correctly in the master cartons.
Before boxing, a final safety check. Magnetic coils scan for any trace of physical contaminants, ensuring 100% purity.
The frozen inventory is moved to the holding cathedral, a fully automated cold store where robots manage the stock in sub-zero darkness.
Here, the eel waits in suspended animation. The flavor of the charcoal and the sweetness of the sauce are perfectly...
Journey requires armor. High-strength corrugated cardboard is mechanically erected to house the frozen fillets.
Pick, rotate, place. These Delta robots can pack 200 units a minute, arranging them in alternating patterns to maximize space.
For long-haul flights, thermal insulation is added. This foam sheet acts as a final barrier against temperature fluctuations during transit.
The master carton is sealed. Once taped, it becomes a tamper-evident unit, ready for the supply chain.
To withstand the pressures of stacking, heavy-duty plastic straps reinforce the carton's structural integrity.
This is the cocoons phase. Multiple layers of stretch wrap lock the boxes together and provide a final shield against moisture and dust.
Every pallet is a traveler. This specific lot is destined for the sushi markets of Tokyo and the gourmet delis of New York.
Speed is the final ingredient. To ensure absolute freshness, our premium exports are flown overnight to...
Upon arrival, the product is inspected by the world's most demanding chefs. The color, the texture, and the aroma must be flawless. It is the centerpiece of the unadon. Served simply on a bed of steamed rice, the rich, caramelized flavors are allowed to shine without distraction.
The result is a texture that melts in the mouth, with a perfect balance of charcoal smoke, sweet soy, and the rich umami of the eel.
From the depths of the aquaculture ponds to the finest tables in the world, this is the journey of the Japanese eel.